national body and celebrate it. And they ask us to take a special collection, which we will do when the sermon ends, for those of you who might be so moved. This year, they are hoping for an average of $20 per member. Last year, they were hoping for an average of $50 per member. So they recognize that times are difficult. But they believe that it matters that we grow this faith. This year's contributions will go toward a new growth project called Leap of Faith Initiative. It's designed to develop mentoring relationships between thriving congregations and congregations who are poised on the threshold of significant growth, providing support and resources so that they can reach their potential. It's a very exciting program, and I can imagine us being part of it in a few years. Now, as I thought about the woman from Vienna and the couple that I'm joining this afternoon, I also thought about my mother, who was raised a Christian Scientist, left that church to become a Methodist, then when she was in college, lost her faith and thought she would never again have a religious home, and then discovered Unitarian Universalism, where she could be a deeply spiritual atheist, which she continues to be happily in the Unitarian Universalist congregation of York, Pennsylvania, to this very day, and I hope for many years to come. I've also been thinking all week about the young freshman at Rutgers University who committed suicide after his roommate and another student covertly videotaped him having a homosexual encounter in his dorm room and then put that videotape on the internet. And I wonder, would those two students have done such a thing if they had taken the Our Whole Lives curriculum in comprehensive human sexuality education that we offer our young people? If they had been taught to respect differences in sexual orientation, if they had learned to respect the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I'm thinking about the Baptist minister. Sandy Spisto told me when they were down in Florida at the Unitarian church they attend there, they had a guest preacher who was a Baptist minister and who looked at the congregation and said, "You Unitarians are the hope of the world." This came from a Baptist. I'm thinking about some of you who, when I first came here, told me that finding this fellowship literally saved your lives. When you were desperate for a community that would accept you as you were and allow you to grow. And as I thought about all those things, I decided to do something I very rarely do, which was to accept a rather pushy letter of encouragement from Peter Morales, our president, and Stephen Papa, one of the fundraising consultants for the UUA, to be a good minister and make a lead gift to Association Sunday. I even decided to give the amount they recommended, which was $500. $10 for each year of the association. $10 for each year of my life. Didn't seem like such a bad deal when I thought about it that way. I don't expect you all to whip out your checkbooks and write checks for $500. Please don't misunderstand why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because this faith has given me so much. It has given my family so much. It has given so many people I love so much. And I want others to have what I have found. And the only way that will happen is if we manage to grow this tradition in a way that makes us much easier to see, much easier to find, and much more accessible to people coming in who might not be just like us, but who need a home just as much as we do. So after the sermon, we'll pass the offertory baskets again. And if you are so moved, you can put in cash or a check made out to the UUA and just put Association Sunday on the memo line. There are also instructions on the insert in your order of service if you want to mail in a check later or donate online. They make it easy to contribute. And I want to close with words from a colleague of mine, the Reverend Shauna Lovegood. She too, obviously, has heard the joke about the cross between the Jehovah's Witness and the Unitarian. And she has this to say: "We are a faith tradition that knocks on your door and knows precisely why. We are knocking because the world is in urgent need of our message, which says that all people matter, that the well-being of our earth is intrinsically linked with our own future, that peoples in other parts of the globe cry out for peace, and we must hear and heed their cry, that people in our towns and cities cry out for food and shelter and a way of life that values being overdoing, a way that knows all souls are worthy of love. We stand in a long line of visionary thinkers and believers who call to us. And then she closes by quoting one of the last lines of the classic processional hymn, Rank by Rank, Again We Stand, that's always sung at General Assembly and at ordinations and installations. She says, "What they dreamed be ours to do." May it be so.